Hello everyone, and welcome back to Technically Unsure, where I'm not really sure what I'm doing technically.
Technically speaking, yeah.
Today I'm going to check out another motherboard that I found on AliExpress. And this motherboard also is claimed to have a 2680 V3 Xeon CPU on it. And I paid for the motherboard, for CPU combined as a bundle, as a package, $110, almost, so 109 whatever, some change. The last one that we reviewed, that was $167, but it had V4 CPU and a little bit stronger. But this one is also, I think, is very powerful if everything is true. This is what I got. I have not unboxed it, opened it, or I have no clue what's inside. So we are going to do that together. Right off the bat, I see a thermal paste, which most likely I'm not going to use this one. 3 years warranty of some sort, I guess. There's a CPU bracket. I think that's also mounting for cooler, IO shield. SATA cable, just one, right? Yeah, just one SATA cable. That's it. Oh, nice. This is the motherboard. Top view, it's the back view, and IO is here. This, as you can see, actually this is V4. They sold me V3 and this is V4 already. So 2680 V4 and 2.4 gigahertz, I think 14 core 28 threads. And I already can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 SATA BIOS battery. So one PCIe slot X4, one X16. This is already better than the other motherboard. And look at that this way. So we can put one in here, one on top, and another one here, and another one here. So one 2280 can fit here, one 2280 can fit here, another 2280 can fit here. Huananzhi X99 QD4 and QD4 and blah blah blah. That's it. Comes with a CPU but no RAM. And also this one contains 1, 2, 3, 4 RAM slots. In terms of IO, there is no VGA output. So yeah, we have to use the PCIe slot and with some graphics card in order to power this on. And there is the audio stuff, there is PS2 keyboard and mouse, and probably these are USB 2s, so 4 USB 2 and these are 2 USB 3s. Here's the deal. This compared to the other 167, the other 167 contains 6 Ethernet ports. This one contains just 1. That had more USB 3 ports, this has just 2. That one came with a RAM, this does not come with a RAM, but this contains an X16 and another one X4, 2 PCIe slots. That one comes with one, just X16. But also that one comes with a single PCIe slot. This one comes with 1, 2, 3, 4, I guess, the short one. And that one contains only 2 RAM slots. This one contains 4. It all comes down to preference, right? So if you didn't need that 6 Ethernet and each were 2.5, and this one is not obviously 2.5, not obviously, maybe it is, but I don't think so. I think this is a gigabit, but we're gonna check that. So this does not come with a multiple Ethernet, that one had. This does not come with a VGA, that one has. So it depends on what you wanna do. I think you can kind of turn this into some sort of even maybe gaming, because PCIe can install an old GPU in here. I guess you can play some games on it. Condition is that the drivers should work, like the Ethernet, for instance, should work on Windows, right? Yeah, this is a very strange board. That's definitely a strange one. Okay, so I guess we don't need any of these, and I am not sure if I'm going to need this, but yeah, that's definitely here for the cooler installation, and probably these are for that as well. And it does not come with a cooler, just like the other motherboard, the 167 one. You have to provide your own cooler. You have to have a GPU of some sort. I guess I can try something Intel. I have a bunch laying around. If it didn't work, I can switch to something better. Let me power this on and connect the power, put some cooler on this and the battery, CMOS battery, and NVMe SSD for the OS, and take it from there. I think I'm gonna use the same PSU I used on the other one, and this one comes with 6 SATA. I guess we can use those along with the 4 NVMe SSDs. Okay, so a couple of points. Number one, once you insert a big, I mean, this is not big, it's not big at all, but if you try to insert a PCIe graphics card, the last 2 SATA ports become unusable. I could not use it. So I actually brought those up for those 2 big mechanical disks, but unfortunately I won't be able to use them. We are stuck with these 8 terabyte 4 8 terabyte SSDs, okay? Keep that in mind. And I inserted 3 NVMe SSDs in here, and I inserted this graphics card. I think this is Zotac 1060, okay? So I inserted 3 NVMe, 4 SSD, and a graphics card, and 2 RAMs. These are channel together, and these are together. So I inserted right here for now 1616, and I borrowed the RAM from the other motherboard that we reviewed, the Chinese Xeon motherboard, the $167 one, okay? So let me make sure this is in place. Everything is in order. Turn the power supply. All right, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Let's see if you hear a chime. That's spinning, and 153. By the way, just keep in mind there is GPU as well on this one, and 3 NVMe SSDs and 4 SSDs. Okay. Oh, that was a loud chime. Let's go to BIOS. There you go. Okay, this looks like a small, relatively small BIOS. Okay, so there are some hibernation and ACPI settings. NCT 5532D Super IO. Serial port, restore AC power loss stuff. Hardware monitor. So I inserted that cooler. 20C, that's very cool. I hope it's not really under reporting. I heard one of the viewers left a comment saying these motherboards do. I guess there's smart mode for the fan. You can basically set the PWM. So here, PCIe latency timer, PCIe X, VGA? I don't see VGA. I have no idea what that one is about, but yeah, it's not a VGA port. So above 4G decoding, SRIOV. So yeah, there are some things, PCI Express settings, and I guess IDO, LDO, LTR. I don't see bifurcation settings in here though. I don't see here either. Let's keep going. Network settings. Wake on LAN is enabled. Network stack, okay. CSM, doesn't matter, that's for login. NVMe, oh, so it detected the 3, by the way. 1, 2, 3. So it detected the 3, but it doesn't show anything, it just detected. Okay. USB configuration, not much here for USB. I'm looking for the PCIe bifurcation. I guess that's here. Yeah, it's in IIO. Yeah, just like the other one. And in here, we should have another IIO. Yep, there you go. 4x4, X16 for this, and another X16. We're good. But actually, it should be on auto. I don't know why someone set those. I think that's how they're shipping it, but nah, I guess. Overclocking features, if I enable it, we are going to see PLL and other processor and voltage related stuff. I'm not touching it. Miscellaneous, PWM, and some other settings in here. BIOS guard, and then there is server ME. So yeah, this one also comes with the server ME. I'm going to try to get rid of this one as well. Reserve memory, and yeah, QPI. So this looks very similar to the other one. It's a processor configuration. Yeah, hyper-threading, and the VMX is enabled by default. Okay, all right. So yeah, they modify some stuff by default, and yeah, we are seeing the CPU, by the way. You can see that this is 2.4 GHz Intel Xeon CPU E5, 2680v4, 14 cores, 28 threads. Okay, and yeah, I don't think we have anything else to explore here. Yeah, all disks are detected as well. So SATA disks, as you can see, the QVOs are the 8 terabyte SATA disks, and 3 NVMEs on here. All right, so I guess let's try boot into Windows and see if I can install Windows 11. Actually, it also requires a TPM, but I'm not sure where I can plug it in. I have a bunch of TPM chips around, maybe. Yeah, I don't think this is going to work, but yeah, I have these. Yeah, so I have this, the small one, the big one, and this one. But I don't think it's going to work without it. And let's see, it should show error now and complain about lack of TPM chip. Yep. Okay, let me figure out the TPM and we'll take it from there.
One eternity later.
Okay, so we are back and I got nothing but good news, honestly. So this computer is I'm gonna say this motherboard is awesome so far from all my tests. So basically what I did was I installed Windows 10. Obviously 11 didn't work because I couldn't find a TPM, okay? So, and I didn't wanna override that check. Anyway, I installed Windows 10 and right off the bat, almost everything worked. Like Ethernet worked. I didn't install any driver. So let me show you. Yeah, so here is the Ethernet, okay? And this is a gigabit connection, as suspected initially, as I said, this is a gigabit Ethernet. But other than that, I was able to get everything working, including the GPU. And as you can see, I ran Cinebench 2024 GPU and CPU test. So this is the Zotac Gaming 2060 RTX, right? So the GPU doesn't really matter that much, but I just wanted to show you because you can install a more powerful GPU and use that, obviously. But in my case, I just want to show you the score I'm getting, and that's the score for the CPU, 645 for multi-core, okay? And also I ran the 3D Mark. So this is the 3D Mark score and 6,000. So it is working. And I was able to install every single update. There was, I think, like 100 update for Xeon, but I installed everything, optional and mandatory. It's up to date. Everything is working perfectly. And let me also show you this, disk management. So look at that. Every single disk drive is detected. So 1, 2, 3, as you can see, 1, 2, 3. These are the NVMe SSDs, each 1 terabyte. And I'm using one for Steam and one for the Windows. So yeah, 1 terabyte I put for Steam and games, 1 terabyte I put for operating system, the Windows, and 1 terabyte I haven't even initialized. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4 SATA disks, those are also detected. Everything is working perfectly on this, and you can absolutely game in this thing and use it as a NAS, use it as a Ubuntu, use it as a main computer, use it as a gaming computer. I mean, it might not be the best gaming computer, but it's working. And I have to tell you, I have one correction to add. So initially I said, I don't know, I said how much I paid for this, and I said I bought the CPU, RAM, and motherboard bundle. I was confused. It's not this one, there's another one I have. But this one, in this particular one, it's actually exactly they send what I bought, which is CPU and motherboard only. So you have to insert your own RAMs, you have to have your own RAMs. And look at the power usage, right? 53 watts when Windows is loaded, and you know, it's kind of idle, sitting there, 53 watts. 4 disks connected, although it's not much in use, 3 NVMe's, 1 GPU. So this whole power supply, remember, so the GPU, the CPU, everything connected, idle, sitting at 53 watts. Isn't that impressive? I mean, I think that's good, right? So I got basically everything working. And I will show you, maybe even we'll do some games. Let me show you. For instance, I guess we can do Doom. Okay, as you can see, it jumped up to 180. When the game is loaded, it jumps up to 180 initially. And let's see where it goes, where it settles. Okay, so 110 so far, but game is not loaded. And you see the FPS over there. Okay, so we are back, and I have the Doom open, right? And you can see the GPU temperatures, this clock speed, the memory and CPU and everything on the left, top left, and on top right there's 60 frames per second. And the last time I was playing, I set it at the ultra settings, so keep that in mind. So once the game loads, initially it's going to be ultra settings, I think. I'm going to confirm that, but I think it's going to be ultra. Well, that's 157 FPS for you, all right? And let me go to the settings, advanced, all right. Yep, I told you, it's on ultra. So we are in ultra settings at 2060, and this $100 motherboard, literally 102, okay? And we are getting, wow. Yes, we are getting 160 FPS. Yeah. This is amazing. Everything is working as expected. So you can tell I'm not good at this, right?
Hey, Conan O'Brien here with another Clueless Gamer.
Okay, this is awesome. So yeah, it's working as expected. And let's close it. You saw the stats, 160 FPS for Doom. So let's see, maybe Forza Horizon 5. And that one is also on the ultra settings. Okay, so we are back, and as you can see, okay, so we are getting 60 frames per second in the Forza Horizon 5, and it is on the ultra settings. As you can see, it is very much playable. I just can't play it, but let's go to the settings and to graphics. As you can see, high. So it's on high preset. So on the high preset, is there an ultra? Yeah, okay, let's try ultra, I guess. But high is fine, right? So we did it in the high. Let's save. Okay, it needs restart, that's why I didn't want to do it. So yeah, let's keep it at high. At high, we are getting 60. And obviously, if it goes ultra, it's gonna probably drop to half frames. It's gonna be, I guess, 30 frames, 40 frames. So yeah, but this is 60 frames with high settings, absolutely playable. So keep that in mind. And you can see the stats over there, and the power consumption shot up to 216. That includes the GPU. Keep that in mind. So it's not just the motherboard and CPU. So we are getting 220 watts, but we can play Forza Horizon 5 at high settings with 60 frames per second, okay? I just wanted to show you that. Although this is, not a gaming computer, but as you can see, we are literally gaming on this. It just works.
All of this just works.
This is the CPU benchmarks, and everything is working perfectly. I didn't have trouble installing any drivers or anything. So yeah, this is working perfectly. Now let's take a look at the temperatures a little bit. I know you guys are interested a lot on that. So what I found was, this is the hot point for DRM stuff, VRM stuff. So this is like 40, 44. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So that's the one hotspot on the motherboard, which is 4445, as you can see, hopefully, can you? Okay, so that's 46. And I did not find, yeah, there is one other hotspot on top, as you can see, hopefully from the other camera. So that is 55, so this heatsink. But I'm gonna be honest, this one does have good enough heat sinks on both hot ends. So as you can see, this is 55. So this side is hot, that side is hot, and it does have heat sink for both of them. So it looks fine and it is working fine. Let me just do a quick reboot into an Ubuntu image. I want to see, obviously it's an insult to try to do any more GPU, like a 4K video player and stuff like that. Everything is working perfectly. You can do anything with this motherboard. Let me reboot. Let's go back to Ubuntu. I want to play a little bit around that BIOS and that the Intel ME stuff, okay? I will be right back. All right, so we are back and I have booted into the into Ubuntu 22. And here you can see the Neo Fetch, and as you can see, this is the NVIDIA and Xeon, everything is detected. I didn't install any drivers. And the motherboard, as you can see, it says X99 QD4. So everything is detected. Ubuntu is not installed. I am in the live Ubuntu. I just want to quickly run the Sysbench, and you can see the power consumption shots up to 160, right? 159.60, okay? And I just want to see the score, which should be around, yep, 20,000, okay? So everything looks to be in order. Now let's do Intel ME removal and dumping the BIOS. So we are here, and what we can do is we can say, so here we are. I just cloned this, that's it. I didn't install anything, I didn't do anything. I just cloned this Intel ME cleaner, okay? So what we are going to do is flash ROM and internal, and I am going to read it to dump.bin, okay? Now we are reading the BIOS chip. We are reading the BIOS, and while it's doing that, I forgot to install the bless. Let me install the bless very quickly. I just want to also load it in the hex editor. So bless and dump.bin, right? Yeah. I think that's almost done. All right, so we have it right here. Okay, so this is the BIOS, and if we search BIOS, I guess, if we search text, there we go. Okay, so this is the AMI, American Megatrend, BIOS, date and time, all that stuff, X99 QD4. Okay, so we got the BIOS. So once we dump the BIOS, we are literally going to run the command that's in there. So Python 3 me cleaner o modified.bin, and we are going to do on the dump.bin, right? Yeah, there you go. Okay, so we were able to, basically it detected the full image, and it detected the apt header and all these tables, partitioned list and everything, and it was able to shrink it and create a modified. So if we do here, as you can see, this is the modified one, the modified bin, and that's the dump.bin. Okay, now I am going to, I guess, flash that. If something goes wrong, it goes wrong. All right, flash ROM and HP internal again, W modified. Okay, we're reading the old flash content, and then it's going to flash and then erase, flash, verify. Let's see. Okay, now it's erasing and writing. Okay, now it's verifying. All right, so verified. We flashed back the modified ME cleaned, basically BIOS image to the BIOS. And we had the Windows working, Ubuntu working, and we did the Sysbench and others tests. So if the motherboard doesn't come back, it just doesn't come back. All right, let's go.
Many unbearable hours later.
Whoa, we are back. Look at that. I heard the beep. Let's see if it goes into BIOS. It's kind of stuck in here. Okay, so we are in the BIOS, although it took forever. And let's very quickly check the ME. So server ME, general config. Okay, no issues. The BIOS looks to be working. I guess there are no problems. Should we? Okay, let me go back to Ubuntu and check it from there. All right, so we are back, and as you can see, and I will zoom into this terminal so you can see it better. So I just installed the Intel, just literally copy pasted 3 commands, and as you can see, ME has a broken implementation on your board on this firmware, and we made the Intel ME unusable, basically, kind of disabled it, shrinked it, whatever, modified it you want to call it. So BIOS is not protected. You can dump it and write it from the operating system, from the Ubuntu. Gaming perfectly works. Power consumption when idle 69 on the Windows, on the Ubuntu. In Windows it was 55. PCIe bifurcation works. 6 SATA connections work. 3 NVMe SSDs work. The VRMs and other motherboard components that have heat, they have efficient cooling and heatsink. Yeah, so Ethernet is one, just that is a little bit, I guess you can install one X4 faster Ethernet adapter on here, but yeah, it's up to you and what you want to do. We talked about almost everything in this board, and I hope I covered all the topics. All right, so before I go, I just remembered about the ECC. I just want to show you, this is the output of the DMID code. So total width and data width is 72. And I believe it is just like the other motherboard. It is going to need probably registered memory, RDIMM memory in order to have ECC. But I couldn't get it to work. With the RAMs that I had and I borrowed from the other motherboard, it did not work. So I hope I answered all your questions. Please let me know if you have any questions, and I will try to answer them just like the other Xeon motherboard. If it gets overwhelming and too many questions, I might create a separate video to just answer your questions. But I will try to answer your questions in the comments. And thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.